so we're gonna do some elves tonight.
We are gonna do some elves. Now, you requested this deck. You why do you like this deck? Why do you want to play some games with it? I like this deck.
So is Kendra still in the chat? I know she was in earlier. Basically, I said to her, is there a deck? There we go. And I mean, that's on brand for Kendra, but I said to her, is there a deck that I don't have to lose to Delver? Like, I don't care about how it performs overall. I just don't want to lose to Delver. And she said, you got a really good matchup with Elves, and I trust her on that. And so Elves, we might lose to other decks, but I don't want to lose to Delver. I'm so sick of Delver.
I think a lot of us are.
Yeah.
And not just in Pauper.
Not just in Pauper. Is there a format Delver isn't in? That's the thing. Delver is in every format Delver is legal in, I think.
It's not super good in Modern. It's not great in Modern.
Not anymore. It had its time. It might come back.
That's true. You're never safe.
Right.
From the Delver menace. Can you see it now? Does that work?
Yeah, there we go. All right. Oh, wow, that's actually there. I was going to say little fuzzy, but it just clicked into focus.
That buffering.
There you go. And that's the nice thing about Elves is you just got to look and it's like, all right, Forest, Llanowar. Yeah.
Okay, so you like this hand? Let's keep it then. What else can we need? We've got a land, we've got a Llanowar.
Oh, goodness. Right off the bat.
Could be mono blue or mono green Stompy, right? They play Quirion Ranger sometimes. Unlikely, but possible. Well-Wisher seems insane in the mirror, right?
Well, when you have Well-Wisher in the mirror, it can get a little out of hand. Yeah, no, and we're definitely in the mirror.
I used to play Elves in kitchen table Magic back in the day. You know, the school tables and stuff. And we would the games would divulge into these big battles where like half the people at the table would be playing Slivers and the other half the people at the table would be playing Elves, and everybody getting like tribal bonuses from the other players and stuff. Just nonsense, absolute nonsense.
Well, as far as things go, it's a pretty nice hand.
Pretty nice opener.
Yeah.
Quirion Ranger we could drop for free if we don't mind bouncing a forest, which we don't. And then the Birchlow Rangers is also free because it can tap with the Quirion Ranger. So it's whether or not we want to run out a Well-Wisher or a Timberwatch here. Which do you prefer?
I mean, early game, we can do either going for the Well-Wisher to just start gaining life, I suppose. That can turn into a race. Timberwatch, we can start stomping in, you know.
I think I'm going to go with the Timberwatch just because it's slightly better mana-wise here. Use the full 3. Solid turn 2 either way. It's a Stampede.
Let's see what they get.
Not bad. A Well-Wisher of their own. Ranger, Huntmaster. I'm getting the impression that this game is going to get pretty wild pretty fast.
Yes.
Right now, the Timberwatch and the Well-Wisher are tapping for 10. It's a solid amount. Ooh, Distant Melody. I think we need to get double Well-Wisher down. Or should I be playing the Huntmaster first?
Let's get that Huntmaster. That way, when we drop the Well-Wishers and other stuff, we're gaining for it.
Okay, I'm on board.
People are saying we have lethal right now.
Oh, do we? That's probably better. The chat advantage.
Assuming their math is correct.
Well, they have a block with Elvish Mystic. I understand that Timberwatch is all elves. I said that it would gain 10, right?
Well, the thing with
that's right. We can just pump the unblocked one twice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fair enough. I guess we can play a Well-Wisher. Yeah. How about that? Feeling good about the turn 2 Timberwatch play now that we're here. And I think they might feel a little bit silly for...
That's pretty sweet.
Well, I guess it would have been pretty hard for them to leave 3 things back. And then they're losing 2 creatures on the block as well.
Chad is saying we need to thank them for spotting lethal.
Oh, never do that. Never do that. If you're too nice to chat, they'll never go away. You gotta...
Well, I was going to say we should all be thanking me for actually reading chat. Because, I mean, you weren't reading chat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely
not. I was
not.
at least paying some attention to the chat. So in a sense, I think the real hero here is myself.
Oh, well, that is a hard sentiment to argue with. For sure.
Yes.
Probably not a matchup for Spider Silk Armor, huh?
No.
I like Longbow and
taking that in, pick off some of their elves.
Yeah, it seems sick on a Nettle Sentinel in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Build your own little machine gun. And then is Harsh Sustenance good here?
I don't really know that we need Harsh Sustenance in this matchup. I think I think what we really want to get is that Longbow out to pick off some problems.
For sure. And we're clearly not cutting Well-Wishers or Timberwatches, so...
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's lock it in.
Yeah.
Harsh Sustenance is for Fogs. Oh, that makes sense. Maverick Girl says that we should be boarding in 2 Gleeful. Oh, interesting.
She would know.
Cut all the elves to make their Timberwatch and Well-Wishers worse. Well, that's an interesting idea.
Interesting strategy.
Not sure we have quite enough sideboard slots.
Well, we got another really nice hand here.
Absolutely. Priest of Titania, like Well-Wisher and Timberwatch, counts all elves on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got the first one down, though. Got me. So the Quarian Ranger generates a mana. Do we just turn 2 Timberwatch Elf again?
I mean, that's definitely worked for us the first time. I also do want to get that priest down.
All right, we can go Priest, Elvish Mystic, and then next turn
Ranger,
just play all of the cards.
Into Mystic into Priest.
All right, I'm on board. You said you've guested on streams before. How many other streams have you guested on?
A few, a handful over the years. I've been doing this 5 years now, so none of the. This is definitely. I will say this is definitely the biggest, most famous stream I've guested on. So thank you for having me. The famous Caleb D. My audience got very mad at me when I mispronounced your last name in a video last week where I was saying I was excited to be playing in the PTQ with you.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
I mispronounced your last name, and people were quite defensive about it on your behalf, sir.
People have been mispronouncing my name for a very long time. So this Priest of Titania is generating 9 mana. That's so much mana.
Yeah.
Do we lead on Timberwatch? Generate like +1 more? Is there a world where we don't want to play this Timberwatch?
Nah, I want to play the Timberwatch.
We might hit Huntmaster and want to just like dump the board so that we can cover all of our bases because they have 2 Timberwatches right now.
Yeah, that is scary.
Yeah, I guess we have a Ranger on tap. Yeah, let's play the Timberwatch out. Hopefully that 1 extra mana matters. Oh wow, the Vanguard's going to be growing. Yep, boo.
Stampede.
This one, this one, this one, and this one.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yes.
Oh my goodness.
Let's auto yield that Vanguard trigger, huh?
That's one thing they need to put on Arena.
Auto yields?
Get some auto yields.
Yeah, that's kind of obnoxious. I agree. Not a deal breaker, but
no. Look at this board.
Such a glorious board. Too bad we don't have Symbiote, huh?
Right.
We could Melody here because we just found the Birchlow Rangers.
Yeah. Melody will get us quite a few cards. Yeah, I think we've got this.
It seems that way, right?
I mean, Let's just melody and just crush them.
Oh, why didn't I tap Nettle Sentinel? I can do it now anyway. Choose a creature type. I'll do this one.
Elf, really?
Yeah, right. Strange.
Oh, look at all those cards.
There's a longbow. Oh man. And the Quirion Ranger can like untap the Priest of Titania again, and we've got Nettle Sentinel with longbow. We just actually get to murder everything.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was fun. Was that turn 3? Yeah, it was turn 2 Priest of Titania.
Turn 3? I thought that was 4. That's 3. Dang.
Yeah, turn 2 Priest of Titania, turn 3 Dead You.
Smash.
Pauper Elves, huh? Pauper Elves. Well, this deck might be pretty good. I don't know. So far, it seems pretty good in the mirror, at least.
So, what do you think is the better deck, Pauper Elves or Modern Elves? If I sat down with Pauper Elves and you had Modern Elves, how are we positioned?
Oh, interesting. I think Pauper Elves actually has the advantage because all of the elves counting the opponent's elves.
Yeah.
If you're going to play that specific matchup, I imagine that Modern Elves is better in Modern. If you're going to if they allowed you to play a Pauper Elves deck in a Modern tournament,
right.
But I don't actually know that. Yeah, I guess they've got Coco. Both decks play Lead the Stampede, right?
I haven't actually looked. I don't know that they're playing. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they're really playing Elves in Modern in this meta much, unless I really haven't been paying attention more so than usual. So I don't really know what they're running these days.
It's usually kind of a niche deck.
Yeah. Last I saw was black-green variants in Modern were pretty popular.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're not against the mirror again here.
No, we are not. We also have a much less explosive hand because we didn't have the turn 1 Elvish Mystic.
Mm-hmm.
But we can dump some stuff here. Not really sure what my opponent's on. The Chancery.
With Azurius.
Yeah, they could be playing like that self-blink deck maybe.
Mm-hmm. Also, you do run into people playing around with Weird Brews and Pauper.
Yeah, I think it's the blink deck if they're playing Faithful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I lost to this deck the other day. Pretty powerful once it gets rolling.
Well, so are we.
Accurate. So we don't have the resources to both Lead the Stampede and Timberwatch, right? We have to choose one or the other.
Let's see. Yeah. Looks like we'd be short of doing both.
Well, we haven't played a land with the Quirion Ranger, right?
That's right.
Maybe that makes it closer.
Oh, I guess we can do both then. 2-3, 2-3. Yeah. Yeah, we've got 6.
Let's lead on Stampede then. Inform the old decisions.
All right.
Well, Wisher seems like it's at its worst in this matchup.
Right.
Just don't care about our life total at all. Like, once they win the game, we have no permanence in play.
Mm-hmm.
But Priest of Titania seems pretty nice. Quirion Ranger is plus half a mana, because it gives us an Elvish Mystic on tap, and then it can tap for Birchlaw Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to think about cards as in terms of half manas.
They may yet introduce it. If unsets are any indication.
Do you think they're going to make another unset?
Oh, yeah. The last one apparently really performed well. It was received extremely well overall. Even curmudgeons like me who were not initially on board had a blast playing it and loved it. I mean, it was just I don't know how much you got in of it, but it was freaking fantastic. And it sold. It made the year. Apparently, it was because it came out like right in December or what have you, or just at I forget the exact time it came out, but it was like right at the end of the year, and it ended up being the best selling set of the year. It made all these game shops.
Wild.
You know, yeah. It just performed fantastic.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah. That was definitely something I was wrong on. I was very like, we now need an unset again. And then it was just like, oh my God, this is so fun.
I have a friend that made an uncube just with the first 2 sets, and that was a good time.
That's great. Yeah, I definitely think we'll be seeing another unset probably far sooner than the gap that we had between number 2 and number 3.
No, ideally, I wouldn't be. Sorry.
I was just talking about unsets. I was just saying that's what they're going to transition to with the big push to Arena, is doing more and more special sets, and that's going to be the because you can't do an unset on Arena. So you can't do Conspiracy or Battle Bond on Arena. So that's going to be like what the big push is, I think.
So we could have played out the Well-Wisher here,
mm-hmm.
If we'd really cared to. I still don't think it's as good. I was thinking it's not great to bounce a land here because I have the land next turn, and because we're probably going to be activating Rangers next turn.
Yeah.
Opponent's got 7 cards in hand. Probably no sweepers, though. Not a lot of sweepers in those colors, right? There's like Nausea.
Yeah, no, there's nothing in the way of sweepers.
Oh my. Nettle Sentinel's actually pretty good here, huh?
Mm-hmm. I mean, unless they've really got a nice trick up their sleeve, I think we've got them.
I always think of Robin Williams and Jumanji when I cast this card. Did you see either of those movies?
I saw the real Jumanji, as in the Robin Williams Jumanji. I did not see. I'm sorry, I just could not bring myself to see the new Jumanji.
That's fair. Like I'm a fan of
Rock.
Jack Black. I'm a fan of The Rock. I like both of these people.
Yeah.
However, I was not keen on it.
Did you watch it though?
I did watch it. I saw it in the theater.
Was it good?
It was vaguely entertaining. The story wasn't nearly as good. The nice thing about the original Jumanji is the whole time you start with you start in the real life, right? And then the game slowly makes things more and more surreal. And so it stays believable. And even in the later stages of the game being played out, you still see random bystanders like seeing a crocodile for the first time and like losing their minds. Right. It does a good job of immersing you in it. The new Jumanji, they dump you into a video game and everyone acts like they're in a video game, and it's very hard to actually be immersed. Or was it? It was hard for me anyway.
Yeah.
So I didn't like the story nearly as much.
I'm not a big fan of all these remakes and nostalgia movies, and I feel like a lot of them, like if you had never seen the first Jumanji, you would never ever go see the second or have much enjoyment from it. And it's just trying to bank off of an audience that's trying to recapture that feeling from their youth or what have you. And it's just like, I can just go rent Aladdin. Come on. I can just go rent Aladdin and watch Aladdin, and it'll be great. I haven't seen Aladdin in years. I'm just going to go rent it and watch it get some popcorn and the family, and we'll have a great time.
It's a good stance.
It's a great movie. I don't need Will freaking Smith. So no, to answer your question, I did not see the new Jumanji. I loved the original.
Speaking of originals, you know what we need to do? We need to see the original Star Wars.
I have never seen the original Star Wars.
I'm aware. I saw that. I've seen that.
You saw that, huh? Yeah. Nope, never seen it. I hear it's good. I hear it's good. I got nothing against it. I just have not seen it. And, there's got to be someone who hasn't seen it. That's what I figure. I just figure, just in case everybody who's seen it drops dead of a brain aneurysm from some unforeseen thing, then there's got to be a few people left on the planet. Right now, it'd just be me. So, I hear it's good. People sure want to convince me not to see it by going hyper aggro at me for having not seen it.
Oh, no. That's the worst.
It's like, because I'll say there's a lot of movies I've never seen, Schindler's List or The Godfather. And people go, oh, really? That was a good film. And I go, yeah, just never really got around to seeing it. and that's the end of it. But with Star Wars, it's like
frothing in the mouth. Yeah.
Oh my God, and they won't shut up about it, and it's just Star Wars, like it's a cult or something.
It's actually Jedi is actually a religion in Australia. It's one of their top 3 religions. Yeah.
I know there's a religion around the mouse from Rescue Rangers. That's very disturbing.
Oh, interesting. Disturbing, you said? Isn't that the most wholesome thing ever?
No. It goes in a very unwholesome direction.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But why, though?
Why? Just go ahead and start Googling religion of Gadget and read away and be depressed.
Do we mind losing? I think I'm going to attack with everything that I don't mind losing, and then whatever they block with Muldrifter, we just let it die.
Yep.
And then we pump whatever's getting through for lethal, and then they flashback Prismatic Strands, and then need to find another one.
Sounds good to me.
All right, sweet. Having the Distant Melody countered there was a real buzzkill.
I know. Somehow we'll just have to survive with only this many cards on the field.
Right.
It's going to be rough.
Oh, I guess if they have to flashback Prismatic Strands, the creature we're attacking with doesn't die anyway. Well, anyway. Oh, yeah, it would, because Muldrifter still deals damage. Herpaderp. Yeah. I know how cards do.
Did you know that reading the card explains the card? It's a little trick I picked up.
Interesting.
Yes.
So how do they actually win this game? It seems really hard.
You get frustrated and you just concede and say...
I concede to their wall of fogs.
You curse on your stream, right?
Huh? Oh, never.
Never.
No, this is a family-friendly stream.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say
we absolutely
they win by you saying "fuck that" and slamming auto concede.
Yeah. Snap's not bad. Kenexai says, "Don't believe Caleb." Hey, my face is the logo of the stream. If you're gonna believe anybody, it's gotta be
like
me.
The first time I caught, I honestly think the first time I caught your stream, I seem to recall literally just clicking on it, and you were literally in the middle of swearing about something. It was just like it popped up, and it was just like, oh, fucking motherfucker. It was just like, oh, who's this?
Yeah, people don't usually get upset about the curse words. I've had people yell at me for talking about various bodily fluids and stuff.
Like pee pee and poo poo? Oh no.
Or jism, I don't know.
Oh, that's another fluid, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was totally Professor F-Bomb back when I was an actual professor.
Professor F-Bomb.
Professor F-Bomb, because when you're teaching, and I shit you not, literary analysis at 8 a.m. in the fucking morning to a bunch of 18 to 24-year-olds roundabout, you got to get them fucking engaged somehow. And so the best way to do that is to shock everybody by letting those F-bombs drop.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me.
It just picks up their ears, and you're just like, all right, so the protagonist, what a fucking asshole, huh? What do you think that his actions might symbolize here? It's just like, come on, give me something. I got 2 hours to fill here.
8 a.m. is way too early. I took one college class at 8 a.m. and I ended up not dropping it, but like withdrawing before it would damage my grades or whatever. I just noticed my grade like going straight downhill. It was not a good trend.
It's not like the instructor wants to be there at that hour teaching either.
Well, that's
really just that colleges don't have room.
This particular instructor might have wanted to be there.
Oh God, that's the worst.
He took pride in like failing people, and he had a sign on his door of Gandalf saying "You shall not pass" and stuff.
Fantastic.
Right? Yeah.
That's exactly what his job is.
Exactly. Yeah. And so he's teaching this intro to stats class, and I'm someone who's like not terrible with statistics. I've like I don't know. I don't like have a bad head for math or anything, but he like wrote his own textbook to like make it intentionally ambiguous and stuff, and oh man, it was not great. Very much
sounds like a real asshole.
Yeah. I think he was the only bad professor I had in my entire college experience, though, so still pretty lucky.
That's pretty good.
Turns out most people that get to follow their passions tend to be pretty okay about it. Pretty on the level. So they bounced my Timberwatch Elf. They didn't have a counter for the replay, but now they're firing off these teachings.
Mm-hmm.
Capsize is
there
real
we go.
Obnoxious. With buyback for 3 mana. Oh my god. I'm beginning to think we might not win this game. Also need to start watching the clock. But how are they going to win the game?
Like I said, they're going to win by us conceding. Getting sick of it.
Would you like to start there? I think they deck. I think they deck is what happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now they're at 29 versus us at 39, so...
Uh-huh.
But I'm sure that's going to change. We're at 82 life.
Do they have a way of reshuffling the graveyard? I don't know. Oh, well, this is on the stack. I should be untapping Well-Wisher. It seems that everybody that plays Pauper on Moto is much, much, much faster than me, because they're all playing these like meticulous decks. Like, they're going to win by capsizing all my permanents.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still behind them on the clock.
It's interesting, though, because I go in and play a lot of paper Pauper, and it's a very different sort of meta than what you encounter on Magic Online.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, when so many people go to these events, it's so much fun because there's so many people going to these events where they really did just pull out a bunch of cards from their collection to throw a deck together to go down to the GP and play in the Pauper side event or at Turbo Town or whatever. And you see some really interesting decks and brews and variations. And on Magic Online, you know, you're going down the list for the most part of what's on MTG Goldfish.
Oh, sure. Like what's like competitive and stuff. What's known.
Yeah.
The very first Pauper tournament I played was a local event. Someone was gung ho about it and wanted to start running events. Mm-hmm. And I built Blue-Red Delver because it was just like a pile of legacy and modern cards that I already owned.
Yep.
I just picked up 4 Kiln Fiends and I was like, deal, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I don't have any lands in play, I don't have to worry about not F6ing for Quirion Ranger on the opponent's turn, so I can just F6. Kind of pleasant. Kind of nice. So you're the guest, Professor. I think we can win by decking them. I do not think we're going to be able to win via damage without some
if you think
draws.
We can listen. If you think we can win this, go for it.
Okay.
Because a person playing a deck this miserable deserves to lose. Because this is just I just hate decks like this.
All right,
much.
So you're on board for the long haul. You're on board for the grind.
If you are.
They will deck us first. They'll target us with compulsive research. Interesting. That's interesting.
That's their plan, huh?
That seems hard to do while also like bouncing my things every turn, but maybe it's doable. People always hate on decks I love. Oh no, J-Mob man. Oh no. They're 13 cards deeper. Yeah, right? That's a lot of compulsive researches.
Yeah.
And we still have these Priest of Titanias, so like we draw more Timberwatch Elves. Oh, never mind. There it goes.
Well, they're not going to beat us by bringing our life total down. That's for sure. That's simply not going to happen.
Yeah, this is not enough turns, I don't think. Let's find out together. It's probably more tolerable in Paper Magic. Is it? I think you would have to concede this in Paper Magic because of the shared clock in Paper Magic. Just to make sure that you can finish the match. They usually run a Sage's Road Denizen. Oh, interesting. I'm going to look that card up because I have not read it in a while. Whenever another blue creature enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into the graveyard. Mm-hmm. Okay, I could see that working. So long as they find it in time, right? Like, it could be in the bottom, however many cards in the deck.
Sure.
But as soon as they get that card in play, I'll probably concede.
The question is then do you just concede the match and just move on with your life because life is short. Life is short, and death comes for us all. So like
that would be a good that'd be a good high school motto. Death comes for us all.
Death comes for us all.
Yearbook thing.
Yeah.
They're going so fast. They've done this before, and they've had to do this before. Yeah. Am I dead this turn? Oh, are they generating infinite mana? Is this an infinite loop? Ghostly Flicker, 2 walls. Because they have 2 Karoo lands. So Snap untaps 2 Karoo lands. So it generates 2 mana. Oh, no, it generates more than that. It generates 3 due to the Sunscape Familiars. And then Ghostly Flicker only costs 1 mana. Yeah, so each loop is generating mana this whole time. I'm going to be honest, I have not been paying a whole lot of attention. There's a lot of bouncing going on.
Tends to. Well, I've been reading chat because it's far more entertaining.
More entertaining than what's going on screen here.
Oh my god! All
right, let's pack this up. I'm willing. I'm
I don't know. Like I'm one of those life's too short people. As soon as Teferi resolves, I concede.
Sure, that's fair.
I'm just like. And I can, it's like, yeah, sometimes depending on the deck I'm playing, I could probably, fight it out, but whatever. Just bye.
How about this? +1 Harsh Sustenance, so that gets through their Prismatic Strands.
Yeah.
And then Relic seems really good versus them.
Seems good.
And then we just cut Well-Wishers.
Yeah, exactly. There's something we don't need.
All right. On Moto, if I'm playing in a serious tournament, the clock's a resource. I'll make someone use it. It's a little bit different. In a league, I'm much more. Most people are playing like just for funsies or for testing or something. It's a little bit less serious, right? There's not very much on the line, so it's usually fine. Usually fine to just concede, go into the next game. So this next turn, we could Priest of Titania into Huntmaster.
Yeah, that's nice.
Usually it's better to Huntmaster first. I don't think... Can I do both? Oh, I can do both. Yeah, let's do both. And then I think this game's going to come down to whether or not they have a counter for the Distant Melody or not. Huntmaster first always. I don't know. I could see getting another Priest of Titania into play for more powerful next turn. If you had to make a decision between the two.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we go.
Here we go.
Tapped out.
They did foil me last game though. They did foil us.
Curses foiled again.
Well, hopefully not. Yes.
All right. Oh, we got all that mana.
Oh, so much mana. Always yes, always yield.
We got that relic too.
Yeah, right?
Sweet.
Seems pretty good versus them.
Oomph.
I think there's some points where I should be casting Lead the Stampede, like mid-playing things out, just in case I find another Huntmaster. Mm-hmm. Usually you want to drop all of your elves before you like activate Priest of Titania or something. But I could see it being worth switching up the order sometimes. That's when they just nausea me, right? Because we're post board.
Right. Well, look at our board. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I should probably do this now. I mean, if they don't have an answer...
Yeah.
Skip the next combat, huh? All right. I didn't want another combat. This relic might actually end up being super necessary here, huh?
Yeah.
I played Dignitary with that blue-white Planeswalker that would let you blink something.
Mm-hmm.
So you could, like, infinite fog your opponent. Oh, nice. We got there.
You did what was that? The old oh, there we go.
Yeah, the old Venser.
The old Venser. Oh god, those decks.
I was playing in Esper Control, and so the rest of the deck was just like a bunch of card draw and whatnot. The issue with that deck was that my Zealous Conscripts opponents would just sit there and wait until I was about to ult Venser, and then I'd be like, all right, that's mine.
Let's bring in the longbow.
Oh yeah, just to get around fogs and such.
Yeah,
we can get a lot of untaps. I like your thinking there.
My thinking is Kendra said to bring in the longbow.
Fair. That's
my thing. I mean, my thinking is what did Kendra say?
We got a Vanguard then.
I base at least 70 to 80% of my Pauper decisions off of whatever Kendra said. It's just like
sounds very smart.
I'm a professor. I don't actually come up with the shit I teach. I let smart people go do the work, and then I parrot it back to my students. That's how it works.
Yeah, you got to translate it.
You think your quantum physics professor did all that work that he or she is teaching? They read it and then they went and they wrote it on the board. That's what I do.
How do we feel about this hand? We don't really have anything going on. Like we've got Land Elvish Mystic, but we're not actually that explosive, and we don't have card draw or relic.
I'd risk a mulligan.
Okay, I'm with you. This seems better.
Better, yeah.
I'm gonna bottom that. Give us a better chance of hitting a turn 1 mana dork. At least there's relevant cards in this hand.
Yeah, this is all right.
Turn 2, we can Vanguard into the Quirion Ranger. And try and set up for a Distant Melody. Update Stream Decker. Oh man, did I not update Stream Decker? Yeah, give me a sec here. I'll update the deck in between rounds. Badoop boop boo badoop. Seagate Oracla. Now, do we still like the turn 3 Distant Melody, or do we want to play the Timberwatch Elf?
He's tapped out. Oh, 2 Timberwatches too. Draw 3.
I guess if we run out the Elf, then we could be drawing 4 if we resolve the Melody.
Yeah. I'd Melody.
You would Melody? Okay.
It's just like, so what are you going to do? Wait 1 turn to draw 1 more card, or 2 turns to draw 2 more?
Yeah.
Or do the Timberwatch that. I mean, follow your heart.
No, let's do this.
Yeah.
I asked because I could see going either way here.
I mean, we can Timberwolf and start smashing face, you know?
Maybe they just bounce it and just don't care.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's play this Llanowar. Yeah, so otherwise we would have played Timberwatch Elf and just served with the Vanguard. Drawn Llanowar Elves next turn. Maybe drawn 2 more cards. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But it is nice to resolve the draw spell. I like that. We also made use of our land drop here. Oh, they're snapping the Oracle. Interesting. Snap is such a messed up card in that deck. Absolutely unreasonable.
Most blue Pauper cards are pretty freaking unreasonable.
When you guessed on a stream, so I've never guessed it on a stream before. Well, that's not true. I have, but just for very short periods of time. I want to know about you. When you guessed on a stream, is it frustrating to not be like controlling the pieces?
No, it's a relief because then it's not my fault.
If there's a misclick, it's like...
Then it's just like, well, come on, guys, go easy on Caleb. His Pauper isn't like, his favorite, format. Like, relax. I mean, I'm not at the helm here, so, I mean, you can't get too mad at me. It takes the pressure off.
I like it.
Yeah. I haven't guessed it on that many streams. It's mostly been when some folks have done some charity pushes in the past.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Couple times I guessed it on that, or somebody wanted to do not anybody like again on your echelon. So What's that like, being one of the top Magic the Gathering streamers right when also Magic the Gathering esports is exploding and the new hot thing?
It was nice. I mean, like you said, I was like pretty well positioned for the esports boom. One of the players who's fortunate enough to get signed to an esports organization, like right from the get go because of that.
Yeah.
Ooh, not bad. Not bad. They are losing a Dinrova Horror there. They don't have 3 cards in hand. And this Relic's a pretty good card. But I liked my job before. You know what I mean? Like before the esports boom too.
Yeah.
I've always liked it. I don't think many people get into content creation because they're like, this will be the well-paying career of my dreams. And anyway,
every now and then I see some poor soul saying that, and it does not go well.
Yeah, you kind of have to care about what you're doing for sure.
You gotta love it. You gotta go into it thinking that you're never gonna get a penny from it, you know. And if you do, and you're fortunate to be able to build even just like a part-time job from it, that's fantastic and beautiful. But you know,
absolutely,
thinking you're gonna be the next, you know, whoever, Ninja or PewDiePie, and raking in 50 million a month playing video games or whatever is just not sound reasoning.
No. You can certainly set your, if like games are already something that you're super interested in, you can certainly put yourself in a good position for that. And then like slowly start monetizing your income and stuff, but yeah, there's gonna be a whole lot of unpaid work there in the middle ground.
That indeed.
Which, I mean, I guess you can compare that to an unpaid internship or something.
I like to think of it as a hobby. I mean, like when I first started out, it was just a fun thing to do. I didn't. My goal was to earn $100 to buy a booster box eventually, because YouTube won't cut you a check until you've raked up $100.
Nice.
I think that's just, Twitch is 200. I think YouTube was 100. I don't know if it still is, but back when I started, it was $100. And I thought, oh well, maybe this will make $6 one month and $6 the next, and maybe I'll get lucky and get $10 a month. And I just wanted to get $100 so that I could walk into my local game store and say, 1 booster box on Google, please. You know, I thought that would just be the most amazing thing, and it was just like a little hobby. It was something I enjoyed and was doing for that purpose. And I think that, like, again, like you gotta love it. You gotta love the work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they triggered the Stonehorn Dignitary, so I'm not going to get too zesty cracking the relic to get their strands, because they do have a fog lined up. I was just making sure there. They made sure to flashback the deep analysis that they discarded to research immediately to not give me a chance to hit it with the relic. I'm not sure if I would have done that. I might have saved relic for wall.
I don't think we're getting out of this one alive.
You don't think so? They have 4 cards in hand.
Yeah. They are going to be flickering. Oh, God, another one. Yeah. No. Now you can't attack with your cards ever. I think we are.
Well, it skips their next combat phase. They don't stack. So having 1's about as good as 2, right?
Sure.
Do.
They
do stack? Oh, interesting.
Did you read the card?
Well, apparently not.
Reading the card explains the card.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have nightmares. I read it. I read the card, Professor.
And why aren't you wearing any clothes?
Well, that's just a normal dream. That's not a nightmare.
Right. That's just a normal Sunday afternoon for me.
Yeah, if they have to burn Snap on Dignitary to make sure they don't die here, maybe we're okay.
Okay.
I think they're hoping that I like panic crack Relic here.
Yeah.
5 mana, capsize. Oh no, okay, I'm done.
Yep. Life is too short.
Yeah.
Life is short for this crap.
We have like exactly 1 card in our deck that can win through that. All right, 1 and 2 in that match. Not that bad.
We're gonna 4-1 this league.
What matchup is the main deck Spider Silk Armor for? Is it just like a generally good card?
Spider Silk Armor?
Yeah.
We bring that in, I think, to prevent an Electrickery blowout.
Okay. There's just 1 in the main deck, and I'm wondering what that's about. I guess it also lets you block Delvers and stuff.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this hand? We're already on 6. We'd be going down to 5 on the play. I think we
got 2 cards.
And a Scry.
2 things we're doing, yep.
And a Scry. And some land drops.
Kendra says Spider Silk is Electrickery, so I was right on that. Yay, give me a point. And also
1
for blocking
point.
Flyers, which you were right on, so we each got a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Electrickery is. I like to put Electrickery in, which we can cast with the Birch Lore. That's something they don't see coming in Elves, is to cast Electrickery and blow out tokens or an early elf matchup.
Yeah, that sounds real zesty. So this is working out to be possibly the slowest elf draw of all time, but we got
there
some
we
nice
go.
value
Now we got some little pointed-eared friends.
Gonna have a turn 4 Huntmaster to start jamming things.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of Boros.
Oh, let's drop a 1-drop, huh? Oh, we can drop all the 1-drops. Let's drop all the 1-drops. There's only 2. And then next turn, we can lead off with Vanguard, play 2 2-drops. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be up against a lot of tokens here. That Battle Screech.
Possibly 4.
Yeah. Love those bird token artwork that the Battle Screech gives, though.
Oh, the diving
yeah,
evil.
that's so rad.
Vanguard enters the battlefield, right? Yeah, well, that's juicy with Huntmaster.
Mm-hmm.
Then I believe we do this.
Swingy, swingy.
Looks great. What is the original 1-mana tap for 1 creature? Birds of Paradise was in Alpha, right?
For 1 of any color, and then Llanowar was also Alpha. So those 2.
As old as the game itself.
Yep. Llanowar. Huh. What is it good for?
Oh my
Tapping
god.
4 green mana.
Oh
Say
my
it
god.
again now.
Please do not say it again. Please. Please no. What you got, opponent? 1 say T. So what other decks do you like in Pauper?
I really love Affinity because it runs real Affinity cards and because you win by throwing a 21-22 ATOG at your opponent's face.
I always lose to that. I'm always sitting there with a pile of 5/5s, and they have a pile of 4/4s, and they're like a TOG. I'm like, oh, I'm dead next turn, aren't I? And they just like kill me. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm probably bringing ATOG to the PTQ. I was gonna be like, all right, I gotta like really have a proper deck, and maybe I'll do Elves or something. And it's just like, no,
use a proper deck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I have so much fun playing it. My measure for decks is if I have fun losing with them.
Right.
And if I'm still having fun while I'm losing, then that's a good deck. And for me, and I have so much fun when I sit down with Pauper Affinity, and it's just like, I'm gonna Ichor Wellspring, and then I'm gonna Perilous Research it, draw the card, draw those cards, Thoughtcast with Affinity, drop a Mirror Enforcer, ATOG. Oh, they're gonna try and counter me. I've got a Pyroblast. It's just all the cards I love in this deck, and it's so much fun. So yeah, that's probably, I'm gonna see about maybe just updating my list a bit. I haven't updated my Affinity deck in a wee while.
Sounds
very
groovy.
bad about that. Yeah.
When people ask me like what's a good deck to get into Modern or Legacy or something, I usually don't just tell them like the simplest deck or whatever. I usually tell them to like find the closest thing to a deck that they enjoyed in another format.
Yeah.
Then they'll at least be enjoying themselves.
Well, that's one of the things with Pauper too. Is like there's a lot of, because of the card pool.
Is there a downside to this block? Mutagenic Growth, right? Do they play Mutagenic?
I have no idea if they're playing Mutagenic. I don't think so, though.
It's the only way the attack makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe I just chump. Maybe I just take 4. I don't know.
Take the 4. What's it gonna do?
Well, they have a pile of birds in play.
Yeah.
So if they were to like play all my stuff gets +2/+0 or whatever. I mean, we have a Well-Wisher. Yeah, let's take 4. Let's take 4. Whatever.
Take the 4.
No, you're right. You're right.
There we go.
Oh, I should have played the Rangers first. Sloppy. I'm sure that extra 2 life is going to be the difference here. Actually, could be the difference.
Gut Shot, as Chad is saying, is more likely.
Oh, Gut Shot's a fine thing. Let's attack with a Priest too. Right? No, I'll hold it back. It's not like we're representing lethal or anything.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thanks, Maverick Girl. I will try and keep that sideboarding in mind.
Yeah, Kendra is the winner of the Star City Games Pauper Classic, I think it was, right? The Pauper. God, their names for things.
So what's 6 times 5? That's 30, right?
Head straight.
It kind of seems like the extra 6 life mattered.
Oh, okay. Well, wait a minute. I said 4 life, not 6 life. I said
that's
4
true.
Life.
That's true. But
okay.
I bled 2 life.
No
I
way,
bled
buddy.
2 life.
Also, you had
also,
said 6 to me, I would have never let that fly.
If we had chumped the Seeker, then we also would have lost a creature, and that would have been 1 less life. But I definitely bled 4 life by not playing the Birchlore Rangers first before activating the Well-Wisher on my turn. Yeah, we are dead here, aren't we? Yeah, 4 life mattered.
Yep.
Wild. All right, so Maverick Girl likes -3 Distant Melody. This was a sweet deck to get some reps in with, because it is not a deck I have tested on stream yet.
Yeah.
And it's so powerful. +2 Spider Silk, +1 Longbow, +3 Scattershot.
You got it.
-1 Huntmaster, minus the Vanguards. That's right. Yeah, looks right. Sweet. We have a Pauper Master and just like help out. Yeah, we didn't block a Seeker attack earlier for 4 life. We could have chumped, and that would have let us live another turn, which probably would have been good, because then we would have been untapping Well-Wisher and stuff with the Ranger. Yeah, Scattershot Archer seems pretty good versus the Birds. If we're only bringing in 3 in this matchup, I wonder what matchup we want 4 in. Looks like a send back to me. No second land.
Yeah, no, this is no good. Oh,
That
man,
one island.
come on, island. Work with me
island.
here.
Yeah, with only 13 forests in the deck, I don't think you can keep this and try and get lucky or anything.
No, we cannot keep that.
You'd have a scry, though. You have a scry.
Okay, all right. Well,
this armor seems kind of slow. Seems a little slow to me. Also, 2 of our creatures live through electricity already. I think we're bottom of the armor. Maverick Girl complimenting my choice of lands. Oh my.
They say island is the most powerful card in Magic, but it can't make green mana, which is what we needed.
Just priest here?
Yeah.
Hope they don't turn to electricity me.
Yeah, that would suck.
Good choice of lands, bad choice of Timberwatch Elf. I already owned the Timberwatch Elves. It's hard for me to buy cards that I already own unless I really care. I do like the old borders on cards, though.
Journey to Nowhere.
Priest going on a journey. Oh, that's good. That's good. Ba-doop, boop, boo, ba-doop. And then we kind of need some draw at some point, but at least we got the Timberwatch down, so they can kill it and make us sad. No! I would like to put sadness on the stack.
It resolves.
Right.
All right, we could still... Uh-oh.
The nice thing about Elves is that the backup plan is so good against some decks.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem amazing here, but it is really good in some matchups of just attacking with your Piddlers. Opponent is also stuck on lands. I don't know how much that matters.
I wouldn't mind a Stampede.
So earlier you asked the question, ooh, Squadron Hawk. Squadron Hawk is awesome with Faithless Looting. Been those extra Hawks. Love it. Yeah, earlier you asked the question, how does it feel to be a big name Magic streamer here in this boom, right here in this boom cycle? And I would like to answer that by talking about the refreshing taste of Red Bull. I'm currently enjoying the yellow edition here, which is tropical, and it is quite tasty. Hashtag sponsored. Anyway.
I will not make any jokes about Red Bull then. I will abstain. I will abstain from that.
What a seamless plug. Oh, I can't untap my things. That makes sense. We're fine trading Priest of Titania with Standard Bearer. I kind of am. Because it'll turn off Timberwatch Elf too. I'll hold it back.
I had Dollar Shave Club wanted me to do something with them the other day.
Oh yeah? I'm actually in the middle of doing something with them.
Oh yeah. I just I was like, I didn't know how I could possibly get away with Dollar Shave Club.
Okay.
I'm pretty happy. I've got Card Kingdom as my sole sponsor.
Nice.
And they're nice people. They're like a warm, relaxing bath. I feel like I know them. They're like family. They're good folks. So these other people come along. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, that is really nice. That is really nice to be able to plug people that you actually use and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
The reason I took the Dollar Shave Club thing was because I already had Twitch makes it real convenient for random plugs with their bounty system.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me a video of a man playing video games on the can, and they gave me talking points involving butt wipes, and I was like, this is on brand. Despite this mess of hair on my face, I can talk about this.
I was just gonna say, you don't shave.
So why'd they cast the Battle Screech? We just ping them, right? Considering a morphed Birchlow Rangers.
That could be interesting.
Be careful not to overextend into electrickery. That's
a very good point.
Yeah, no, I'll be right on that. That's totally a
All right,
thing
I think
that I've
as
been
of
doing.
now, don't the rest of the cards in your hand. Let's hold them up just in
All
case.
right. That's a good point. That's a good point. All the other cards in my hand, I will play around Electrickery.
Hold those up.
The Bridgelord Morph's not bad in terms of Electrickery.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll let this hit connect. Double Well-Wisher, right? They can't really let us do that all game.
We make it to untap, yeah. I mean, this makes it really hard for them. Come on.
Right. Man, no Symbiote. Symbiote would be busted in this deck.
Yeah.
And any other Elves deck ever. Whenever you see a morph creature, you assume it's Willbender. What morph creature has traumatized you the most throughout Magic history?
Well, the only morph set I played with, because I was on hiatus during the original, so just cons was where we really saw the morphs. I don't remember what was really bothering me in Standard. What were they using? Let's see, what were the decks? Siege Rhino was what pissed me off. It wasn't morphing. That Siege Rhino was just what ticked me off.
Yeah, I suppose it was like Den Protector was the only one that saw like a ton of play.
Yeah. That was a great... I'm not a big drafter, but Cons block was a lot of fun to draft.
It was a pretty good time.
Haven't done it in a while. It's actually where... It's funny, like I think of Cons as like a newer set, but we're getting on in years, aren't we? From it, because I'm thinking back and I'm like, gosh, why am I having trouble remembering like what I would draft or what was Standard? And then I'm like, oh, how many years ago was that now?
Starting to feel old. Yeah, I think I was still living in St. Louis. That was like what 4 years ago. Anyway,
yeah, Cons was half a decade ago. Half a decade since Cons.
Oh my.
I'm old.
Well, if you consider how old the Earth is, I mean, we're all pretty young still.
Yeah.
Spring chicken.
I mean, if you start thinking in those terms, our entire lives are but not even a blip. It's almost like we're meaningless. Existence doesn't matter. We're just one afterthought of the endless black abyss that awaits us all. Well, thanks. This is really cheerful stream you're on.
Yeah,
man.
You could say that. You could say
Jeez.
that. I was thinking about a double block here. It's a 6-point swing, but then we lose an elf for like 2 Well-Wisher activations, and then the Well-Wishers attack. The elves are attacking as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that trade would have been good or not. Yeah, all right. Oh, this is probably not good because if they get to trade 1-for-1 with the birds, it makes our Well-Wishers worse. Oh, they're taking the hit though, and that's even worse. Yeah.
I mean, we're at 53.
That's true. A little bit more than the 30 or so we were at last time.
Yeah.
What are the payoffs for running so many elves? We have a couple payoffs in play. One is Priest of Titania, one is Well-Wisher, and then the deck also has Timberwatch Elf, which is pretty good. Note that all of these elves are also very good with Quirion Ranger. And then there's Huntmaster. Lizalana Huntmaster is an elf payoff. Vanguard's an elf payoff, and then Distant Melody is a tribal payoff. Some powerful bits of synergy there.
This melody wouldn't be bad, yeah.
Starting to pop my Well-Wishers. That's got to be a good sign, right?
They're getting desperate.
I don't know about desperate, but it means they don't have a Electrickery handy. Like, they're still at 24. So I don't think desperate would be the right word, but... Yar. We really need a draw spell. We've kind of needed a draw spell this whole game. We did fire off the one Lead the Stampede, but we only found 2 creatures off of it.
Yeah. No, Distant Melody would be really nice.
So how long were you making content on YouTube before you were in a place where you thought you could like make a go of it?
For the first year, I did not think I was ever going to make a go of it. Is anything other than a fun hobby. And then it was right around, I think, the second, not quite at year 2, where what I wanted to do was trade one of my classes for started my Patreon, and the idea was, hey, I can't keep this up like doing this many videos per week, but if you can replace the amount of money I get for one of my classes, which was X dollars at the time, then I can just request one less class, and then that'll free up some time. And what happened was that the Patreon hit an amount that I could drop one of my schools entirely. And so that was really nice. And so that's where I was like, But it felt like I might be trapped in forever part-time content creation, forever part-time teaching work. And it wasn't until I think the 3rd year to maybe a little after that I hit a point where I was seeing that I could do this full time, and it coincided with me actually losing my classes just due to budget cuts and under enrollment for 1 quarter. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care. And
so the timing just matched up perfectly.
Yeah, it was like I had already been thinking, wow, this is maybe going to replace my classes someday. And then I was forced into it by them saying, hey, you got 18 instead of 20 people enrolled in these 2 classes. We're cutting them because that's California college right now. They just want to cut classes like crazy. And so I was like, but then I don't have any classes. I've been teaching here 10 years. And they're like, yep, that's a pickle. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't even need this. I'm not even scared. And then I was just like, hey, everyone, let me remind you I have a Patreon. And because I'm biting the bullet and going full time, baby. And the community has been very supportive in that, which is also nice as we enter, I believe, the 3rd YouTube adpocalypse right now. How's Twitch? Twitch doesn't have that problem, does it?
No.
Twitch is nice to its creators,
right? The nice thing about Twitch is that a lot of it is monetized through subscription, right? And the emote packages and everything. So like even if there's like a down period in terms of ad revenue, Twitch can still make an income because they take a percentage of every subscription, and the streamers can. The monetization is so spread out between ads and like now like sponsorships and plugs and stuff, and it's really pleasant in that sense. We don't have to worry about you said, the adpocalypse and everything.
Did not hear a word you said. I literally stepped on my microphone cable and it came out, and my earphones are through the microphone, so that got disconnected. So the last thing I heard was monetized.
Oh, sure. I was just saying that Twitch's monetization is spread out over a lot of different things. So if one of those things were hit, like if ads were hit,
right,
the bulk of our income is still coming from subscribers, and then the subscribers are spread between normal subscribers and people who have Amazon Prime. So even if there's like a downturn in the economy, a lot of people are still going to have their Amazon Prime accounts. So it's like it's very stable.
But also
because
like
it's spread
with Twitch, I get the impression, I mean, I don't, really stream, but I get the impression from streamers that I know, and just being in content creation and reading up on everything, that Twitch do you feel like Twitch is just at war with you and trying to throw you off their platform, and just that they do not want you succeeding? Or do you feel that they want you succeeding? Because that's the big difference, is YouTube literally does not want us to succeed. They literally don't. They literally have had meetings about it. Like they absolutely do not wish for their creators to be successful. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
No, someone actually tried to get me to switch streaming services. They like approached me and stuff. And I was like, why would I do that? And they're like, well, we understand that you'd have to like rebuild everything from scratch, and that's a huge risk. And so we are willing to cover part of the shortfall. I'm like, why would I do that? It's not like Twitch has been bad to me. Twitch is like, it seems like every year that I'm with Twitch, they make another way for Twitch streamers to increase their revenue, another avenue.
Yeah.
And obviously you can't do everything, but just the fact that they're constantly working to try and make sure that people can actually make a living broadcasting with their platform is, I don't know, it's really nice. It's a really great company to work with. They don't technically employ us, but
yeah. No, everyone in YouTube says that if only Twitch would offer literally what YouTube offers for a non-live mode sort of thing, just do TwitchTube or something.
Oh, sure.
No one has any loyalty to YouTube. I would leave in a heartbeat for TwitchTube. If in a heartbeat, I would leave for TwitchTube.
I always I watch a lot of Philip DeFranco, and he always recommends. Oh, we're dead here. He always recommends to diversify your income streams from like not just YouTube, from to do like Patreon and all that stuff. Yeah, for a while there, it felt like if they played on like Trickery, we're dead, and we're like, but otherwise they're not making any headway. I didn't feel like I could play around Electrickery at a certain point because they were attacking for enough in the air. But oh well. So the reason I'm not untapping Well-Wisher every turn there is because it was not an option. It looked like it was an option. If you're not familiar with Flag Bearer, it was very confusing. But yeah, that wasn't a thing. Good question. Yeah, another thing that like I told you, someone tried to poach me off Twitch. Another thing they weren't realizing was even if they could cover the loss in income from like starting over from scratch and stuff, there's no way that they would be willing to cover a loss in growth. You know what I mean? So every time you're making consistent content, you're getting like more subscribers, more viewers, more all of that. I think they just like, I don't know. So anyone that comes into the scene, anyone that's trying to compete with YouTube or Twitch just has that to contend with. It's like, it's going to be really hard for someone to actually get creators.
Well, and then also you have the constant worry of even if they start out loaded with money and are somehow able to throw you cash that is in no way connected to, you're going to be starting over, and they're going to somehow supplement all that lost cash, and never minding growth, like you pointed out. How do you know they're going to be there in a year?
Yeah.
How do you know they're going to be there in 2 years, 3 years?
Meanwhile, Twitch is like has ties to Amazon now. Like it was bought by Amazon.
Right.
Probably not going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think Ponza is a Pauper deck, is it?
I mean, I've done 2 Ponza deck techs for Pauper. They are not tier 1 or perhaps not even tier 2, but they sure are fun.
Okay.
There's mono black Ponza in Pauper. No, it doesn't work that great, but it's a lot of fun. You can check out my deck tech. It's a lot of fun. Mono black Ponza, Dark Ritual into Choking Sands turn 1. Sure.
Oh my.
That's fun. It's fun. It doesn't happen but once in a blue moon, but when it does, and then there is a red-green Pauper Ponza that's a little more traditional. But no, they're not currently that well positioned at all in the meta. They're just more silly, like, it's the sort of thing you can do in Pauper.
Right. It seems like they could maybe be good if like Tron was a tier 1 deck.
Sure. They're silly decks. So no, there's no like legitimate Ponza list that puts up results. But you can absolutely do some Pauper Ponza.
Cool.
Stuff.
Someone in chat was just saying that it looked like Ponza from the turn 1 Arbor Elf. They might have been thinking about Modern.
Well, whatever it was, they didn't get there.
Yeah. So against a generic black opponent, do you just like bring in Spider Silk Armor in the dark to try and turn off Nausea, or do you just
I mean, we can. We don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, we don't really know what they're doing. I kind of like the idea of shaving Well-Wisher, though, because they did not look like a matchup we needed Well-Wishers for.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring in 1 more armor, and I'm going to bring in 2 relics, because at least you can cycle those. Maverick Girl's on board with an extra Spider Silk. Okay,
all right,
cool.
Let's do it.
And if we only go up to 2, our odds of like having multiples clogging up our hand is really low.
Yeah.
The bug land destruction deck is 5-0'd. Oh, well, silly me. Ankylosaur is also on board with some number of relics. Cool. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. God, Utopia Sprawl in Arbor Elf is such a match made in heaven. I love it. Is there any blue-white or Grixis control list in Pauper? I think you could build Grixis Teachings. You could probably search for that fairly easily.
Yeah, and there's definitely Dimir Teachings. It's a very good deck.
So if you were going to splash red, you would add like Electricity, Lightning Bolt, maybe Rebs, maybe.
Mm-hmm. This is a really nice hand, by the way.
It seems really juicy, right? I'm just,
yeah.
I think we're just gonna go with the pre-stump my hand thing, but it is tempting to like jam the Spider Silk Armor or the Timberwatch.
Yeah, but that's the thing is Pauper does allow for a wide variety of builds.
Yeah. What comment were you responding to?
The questions about Grixis and.
Oh, sure.
Someone's pointing out there's a Grixis Metalcraft deck that's awesome. I mean, that's cool.
That's super cool. Do I have a plan for after this league? I don't. Oh, no. I should have played the armor. I'm so bad.
Oh, no.
I'm so bad. I almost did it. I almost pulled that trigger. Because, like, what is armor doing in the deck if we're not playing it here? But, well, silly me. Got a little bit of rebuilding to do now. Learned a valuable lesson. That's okay. That's fine. I mean, guest, why did you not tell me what to do? Blah, blah, blah.
I was thinking about Grixis Metalcraft. It was just like, ooh, that sounds spicy.
That does sound spicy. Oh my! What are you getting in black out of the Metalcraft deck?
I don't know Grixis Metalcraft. We have to ask the person who suggested it.
Because red, you have Galv Blast, and blue, you've got like Thoughtcasts and stuff. Oh, is this just a mid-range deck? I'll play the Timberwatch. Oh, Bleak Coven Vampires. Oh, I've played against that card. The one that drains.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Zesty Rancor. So right now the Timberwatch Elf taps for 2. Not enough to really profitably block the Putrid Leech.
Mm-hmm.
We could play the Spider Silk Armor to try and play around another Cower and Fear blowout.
Yeah, that's probably what we want to do.
Yeah? Because we can take exactly one more Putrid Leech hit.
Yeah.
Before we have to start blocking stuff. It'd be nice if we could have Sylvan Rangered into the armor or something.
Timberwatch taps for 3 because it's counting their elf.
Oh, fair enough. Fair point. Maybe I should do a block pump then. Oh, my melody. I like how the pump doesn't work if they just have a removal spell for the Timberwatch Elf. I just like lose another creature for no reason. Could have been a sick blowout. This worked out well, though.
Yep. We're not out of this yet.
No. But, I don't know. At least the leech is down. Pull some, as I say, as they pull some Marassa back to leech. Do I have any plans for after this league? I don't have plans for after this league. No, I'm gonna play something. It's gonna be Pauper. It's gonna be sweet, but I don't know which deck in particular. We'll see how I feel, and we'll see where I'm at. I might want to jam some slivers. After doing something like kind of meticulous and combo-y, it's kind of nice to play something that's just mindless. I like to have a little bit of variance in that regard.
That's what I play Burn for.
Yeah. Is Burn good right now?
Burn's always good. Burn is always okay. Burn's nice because you've got like Firebrand Archers and that other one. What is it? Thermo Alchemist. And that really goes off well. How's it doing in this meta? I mean, this meta is like freaking all Delver. Not that we've seen any of that. And I guess we saw a little bit of the Boros, but it wasn't the type that is really dominating right now.
Right.
So there you go.
The value Boros list with all the hawks and stuff, the bounce your thing.
I mean, Burn is always going to be a nice little, safeguard deck. It keeps things in line.
What's up, Greg? How's it going? Greg got excited when you mentioned Burn. Does he have the GP top 8 with it?
Oh yeah, awesome. Burn, baby, burn.
Rancoring the Leech. Sure.
More spider silk.
So the Vanguard can go up to 10, 12 toughness. They'd have to block with everything. Yeah, let's just attack with Vanguard, nothing else.
See what they do. Interesting. All right.
I'd rather kill the one that's not going to die naturally anyway. If and I can only kill one. But I think this works out well for me. Yeah, they needed to block with the Elves of Deep Shadow as well. For that last point of damage. Which I was fine with. Like, if they wanted to trade off everything. But they ended up just, like, losing 2 things for no value. Maybe they miscounted. Maybe they forgot about that their elf was going to add to the Timberwatch activation. One more match. You ready?
One more. Here we go.
Excited?
This is it. This is for all the remaining marbles. And say hey for me, Greg.
All of the minimum prize payout marbles.
Yes, all of the incredibly minimum prize payout marbles.
I think that's a valid way to go about it, especially if you can make nice proxies that are fun to draft with. Someone with the name Cube is Better, a fellow Cube expert, said they used to make people write out deck lists, which sounds like a big pain for something as casual and like community friendly as Cube. I don't know if I would be able to convince people to do that. Wow, our opponent here is on a Moldifor. That's gotta feel terrible.
Dear. What do you think of the new Mulligan changes that are likely going to be adopted?
I'm willing to give it a shot. Is this the same opponent? It is the same opponent. My apologies, same opponent. You're in for a rough time. How about yourself? Do you have any hot takes? Any strong feelings?
You know, my initial hot take was I don't like it. I don't see what was wrong with the previous Mulligan system.
People really liked it, right?
The current one. I like it. I've been a big fan of it, and it does seem that there's a very valid case to be made for being able to have better success with otherwise, you know, what we might call like glass cannon or just, you know, otherwise perilous decks that you can much more effectively mulligan for your combo pieces, or in a format like Modern, which I'm a big fan of, the argument being made that when you sideboard in a lane line that's going to just turn off your opponent's deck or whatever, that then you've got such an advantage for doing that. And I mean, ley lines get crazy with this new mulligan rule. I mean, theoretically, I haven't like, and then there's also part of me that wants to be fair and say, I haven't played with it. It's all theoretical. I'm also basing, like I said, I base a lot of my opinion off of the opinions of people far smarter than myself. I'm a professor. That's what I do. And so I was reading everybody else's hot takes, and I was going, I believe I will adopt these takes to my own, and that's what I was doing. So I'm not a big fan of it. I don't see why we needed to do it. It also feels – I'm feeling an erosion of trust with WotC these days too, where I'm feeling a little like that they're doing things that may not be in the best interest of what I want out of the game so much as what they're trying to push in terms of esports and a better appeal and things like that. And this has to do with things such as their, you know, reluctance for sideboarding and they're leaning towards best of one. And it feels like it's all kind of these little ducks getting in a row where they're like, and now we really want to negate, you know, issues with, you know, having to think too hard during mulliganing or getting a bad opening hand, which
I don't think this makes mulliganing easier. I think it becomes very hard when when you're going to 5 and you have to bin 2 cards, or you go to 4 and you have to bin 3 cards. I don't think this is going to speed up mulliganing.
Well, we're going to wait and see, because I think they're definitely on board for it. You know.
Yeah.
I think all this, well, we're going to see how it does at the event, was baloney. They're like, we're doing it.
Okay. They have been testing it for a minute, playing with it internally and stuff.
Oh. They've been doing it for a minute. I don't know. A lot of it is cynicism that I can't help but have at this point.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being skeptical.
Yeah, I'm afraid that and I'm trying to be better about this these days, but I just have a lot of cynicism and skepticism towards stuff like this coming out of WotC in terms of the changes and such.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. I had a lot of the same like initial reaction that you did, where I was like, didn't people like already like the scry rule? It also felt very sudden to me because, like yourself, I'm kind of an old man, and I was like, didn't they just change the scry rule to something that like everybody liked? It seemed like a very, very recent change. On the other hand, I mean, it seems like something that if it ends up being bad, they can roll it back.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hoogland made that point. He was like, well, I am glad that they're experimenting with these things, because that's how you get like positive changes and like good innovations and stuff. That's like the scientific way, right? It's to actually like try stuff out and whatnot.
It feels like they're throwing a lot of stuff at the wall to see what sticks, and the problem that I have with that is that it can change the larger game, and we might not know what directly affected what. So that what you're doing so many things, and then 6 months from now, we might be in this position where it's like, well, what actually got us here? What, if that makes any sense, where I do wish maybe we could take, like, why do we have to do everything right this minute? Can we take a bit of a breath? It feels like we just had such success with Arena that it's just going a little crazy.
Oh yeah, no, they're too successful. They need to make some like giant galling mistakes for like a few years, and then they can do something good again. We need to space this out. No, I'm just playing. I don't know what to do here. I don't think I want to trade a Huntmaster for a Rager, right? I think we're just passing.
Yeah.
I guess we could attack with everything. They're at 9. So if we attack with everything and they trade with Huntmaster, they're taking 4 down to 5. It's almost tempting. They only have 2 cards in hand. What if they're just out of creatures? Yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
If I top deck a blue source, I can still trade? Melody and like draw a whole bunch.
I mean, we've got the Melody.
Oh my. Well, that's gonna draw some cards too. They're at 5 right now. This seems so ramshackly. Hit them down to 2. Get the Monarch. Draw a card. Oh wait, no, it can block an additional creature.
We still get the Monarch.
Yeah, we still get the Monarch, but we're only getting them down to 3. And we're losing another creature, which is much worse. But maybe they have to attack me back now to get the Monarch back. I guess we'll see. Oh no, they just have another thing.
Another Pauper Bob.
Yeah, right. I think we are not winning this game. I think we are going to a game 3 here. It's Timberwatch. Timberwatch is a good feller. Yeah, I forgot about the Entourage blocks 2 creatures. I've read the card before. I promise. Probably should have reread it. They do need a thing here. We are representing lethal. Oh, it's also an elf. Interesting. You think Entourage could be worth sideboarding in Elves in like a grindier matchup? 2 damage to each creature in player, so they go down to 1. I think I'm going to pack it to that. With them drawing 2 a turn, they get to 7 me here, down to 13. They're going down to 1 here. I don't think we can come back. If we could have gotten in 1 more damage, right? They wouldn't have been able to clear here.
Yeah.
This might have been a little bit more interesting. Wet Lettuce says, yo, Professor, what deck are you going to bring to LA?
Probably doing Affinity. Pauper Affinity. I love it.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to be rocking some Mono Black Zombies, which is a deck that we played a little bit earlier. I played a lot of, if you caught any of my other Pauper streams recently, you've probably seen me play the deck, and then it's on the VOD.
I've been watching from the shadows.
Oh, really? Oh, my.
Yeah.
Molesville, USA. Population us. All right, what are the odds on this hand working out?
This is not...
How many lands do we play? 14 lands. Then we have a scry and a draw.
This is risky. I don't know.
Very risky. We're already on 5. We're already on 6, though. Go down to 5.
Yeah.
What a clunker.
There we go. Yeah.
Bottoming the Nettle Sentinel, looking for mana.
Not with a bang, but a whimper.
This hand could do some stuff. Our opponent's not playing the fastest deck ever.
This hand, technically, this hand cannot do any stuff right now, in that we can't do anything with this stuff.
No. We'll get there. We'll get there. Lands or dorks. Yeah, but if you miss your land on turn 2, you're not playing Priest of Titania on turn 2, and then you're playing it. And then if you top deck a dork and they kill the dork, then I don't know. It's kind of iffy. I was close. I was close to keeping the 6. I was thinking about it. Well, that is a terrifying card to see this early, and they have Snuff Out. All right. Well.
Yep. Well, that's Elves, so at least I made you feel better about the fact that you're doing mono black zombies for the PTQ.
I do feel much better about playing zombies, not because I think Elves is bad, because I have the reps in with zombies, and I actually know what I'm doing and how to sideboard and all of those things. Is very pleasant. Highly recommend putting in the reps before any major tournament. Do you have any final thoughts?
Final thoughts, just for anyone watching, don't mistake Pauper for low power. We got power in Pauper. We got a lot of decks, despite the fact that you look at MTG Goldfish stats and see all Delver these days. We didn't see any of that tonight. So it's a cool format, and I'm excited. I hope I see a lot of people here at the even if you're not playing in the PTQ at GPLA. Hopefully see some folks here at GPLA. Going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I am very much looking forward to the format. If you're going to be at GPLA, you can stop by the Pauper event on Saturday. Both me and the professor will be there, having a blast, trying to qualify for the Pro Tour, playing some Pauper as you do. And then if you want to play in that event, you can actually play Pauper to qualify for the Pro Tour, and that is wild. This is the first time that's been a thing, right?
That's the first time. Well, yeah, this is pretty wild, and it's the first time that's a thing. And someone's gonna get it. There will be one person. Maybe it'll be Caleb. Maybe it'll be Kendra. Maybe it's not gonna be me, but maybe it'll be you, viewer at home, going to the Pro Tour based off of winning a Pauper PTQ. That's pretty rad.
Absolutely wild. Yeah. And then if someone asks you how you qualified for that Pro Tour, you get to tell them, and that's worth something.
Pop,
that's worth
pop.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how you mentioned how Pauper is like a more powerful format than people give it credit for. In this league, we might have gone 2 and 3, but we had a turn 3 kill in there. At one point, we drew 14 cards with a Distant Melody. There was some busted stuff going on.
Yeah. I think it's funny when people say, well, if it's commons, it's just really weak cards. And it's like, no, this is actually, I like to call Pauper Legacy Light. You can't afford a Legacy deck. You can get some Legacy, fun out of Pauper, like a light version. It's like Diet Legacy. And
it's a little reminiscent of the grindy Legacy matchups, right? If you really enjoy the grindy Legacy matchups, you're almost certainly going to enjoy Pauper. I don't even the aggro decks. A lot of them devolve into these grind fests, which is very meticulous. And you have to put a lot of thought into like how you use your removal, how to play around disruption, that sort of thing. There's a couple of decks that I think are just like, can you beat this? Well, you're dead. And I think Slivers is a lot like that. And I think Elves might be a lot like that as well. Like if you can stop the Elves deck from getting rolling, then they die. Whereas if they get to get rolling, then you die, and it all happens pretty brutally fast. But anyway,
absolutely.
Thanks, thank you so much for coming on the stream. This was awesome. You were a great guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
Beautiful guest.
It's been a real honor and a pleasure to be here. And I will see you Thursday. When you come on by my place for us to do some content and get to show you off on my channel. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I also just get to show you Portland. Go get some good food and drink.
Oh my!
I will see you then, dude.
Awesome.
Have a good evening.
Yep. Thanks again.
All right. See you, chat.